Hey everybody, this is Daniel with the Bob with some truth. I want to talk about this deal that Trump made to keep like 1,000 jobs in the United States with Carrier, who makes air conditioners. Now, I just want to tell you this second time I'm doing this video. I did it, I had it ready to go, and then I realized the sound was fantastic. But I want to talk about this deal because on the surface, this is a good thing because jobs are kept here in the United States. People didn't lose their jobs or were forced to relocate. But there's a lot more under the details in the fine print beneath the surface that I do think we need to be very careful of and maybe even a little bit concerned about. So let's first get into it because I want to be fair to Donald Trump and his team and then be fair to the deal. Okay, so Donald Trump announced that they are keeping about 1,000 manufacturing jobs in Indiana with Carrier. Okay, in March, Carrier, one of the biggest air conditioning companies in the United States, announced they were going to close their facility in Indianapolis, and move operations to Mexico. Now, so those jobs are being kept. Donald Trump railed against them when he was on the campaign trail, saying, see, this is what's happening. They're shipping jobs overseas. They're not going to do that when I'm president because I'm going to call them and get them to keep those jobs. Now, his team did call and make deals, but what is the deal? I want to talk about that now. So, the deal reportedly will keep a majority of the jobs in the state in exchange for friendlier business regulations and an overhauling of the corporate tax code. Trump is also expected to tone down his rhetoric, threatening 35% tariffs on companies that shift production out of the country. Okay? So now remember, Mike Pence, the VP, was also the governor of Indiana. Okay? So he had a connection with them already. So now Trump, when he was on the campaign trail, he was saying, we're going to raise tariffs with companies that ship their jobs, and we're going to force them to stay in the United States to keep their jobs here. But that's not what Trump did. That's not what his team did. They called and they basically said, hey, we'll give you tax credits and we'll give you, looser regulations in order for you to keep the jobs here. That's not exactly how he said he was going to do it. The additional concern is that when you are looking at how he went about this, two things emerge. Number one, Carrier was already getting tax credits and benefits to keep jobs here, and they were still going to ship them overseas. Number two, what will businesses do now that they know, all we have to do is just threaten that we're going to ship jobs, and now we're going to get less regulations and we're going to get more tax benefits. Now, that first point that I made, that they were already getting tax benefits, I want to talk about that. An investigation by the Indy Star found that under Mike Pence, Indiana had awarded millions of dollars in economic development incentives to companies that have moved production to foreign countries such as Mexico and China. Carrier was the highest profile case. According to Conservative National Review, the company also got $5.1 million in stimulus-funded tax credits from the Department of Energy for the sole purpose of creating and maintaining green jobs in the United States. They won that grant by vowing to expand production of energy-efficient gas furnaces at its Indiana facility. It goes on even more. They get 10% of their annual revenues from federal contracts. The government pays nearly $1.5 billion of their annual research and development spending. So they're also highly profitable. Now, I'm not going to read everything in the article because then that would be boring. But I'm going to include all three of these articles in the description so you can fact check me. The reality is they were already making money. They were already profitable. They had already promised to keep jobs here. And jobs are still going in Mexico. This didn't stop all the jobs going. This just stopped up like over 1,000 of them. So, what's the assessment of this deal? From the information provided thus far, I'm happy that those people kept their jobs in Indiana. I'm happy we've got some jobs that are staying in the United States. Trump and his team said they were going to do it, and they did it. So you have to recognize that, because if we don't, we're not being fair. However, it is concerning how they got the deal done, because now it calls into question, if you're a company who promised to keep jobs, and then you threaten to do it anyway, what can you force the Trump administration to give you? What can you get them to give you? And then, like, all that you have to do is keep threatening that you're going to send jobs overseas or ship jobs away. So I like what happened. I'm not a huge fan of how the deal happened. But I think we've got to continue to watch the Trump administration, see how they are going to handle other situations like this, so that hopefully we're not just kind of selling away our government or selling away all these benefits to corporations, and then they pack up and ship the jobs anyway. Because to my knowledge of this deal, there's nothing stopping them from shipping those jobs later on and saying, well, we had to because of profits, whether that's true or not. So share this with people, share the information. Remember, like I said in the past videos, even if you don't share the video, share the information. This is how we fight this fake news thing that's been going on for a long time. We share valuable information, we critically assess it, and we talk about it with each other, and we do so with respect and civil discourse. We attack the ideas, not the people, because that's how we get better at having these debates. This has been Daniel with the Bothersome Truth, and I will talk to you on the next video about who Trump hired for Education Secretary and why it was a terrible pick, and for Treasury Secretary and why that's a contradictory pick.